Last night, Tottenham lost to AZ Alkmaar in the Europa League. And the reaction from a lot of our fans online, on Twitter, on Instagram, on TikTok, on YouTube, I think yesterday, looking at the performance, was a turning point for a lot of fans. Still no Romero, still no Van de Ven. Why are they being saved for a Bournemouth game, which literally means nothing? They were apparently not risked. You know, Dominic Solanke comes back from injury after being out for 2 months, gets injured, unfortunately, after being on the pitch for 10 minutes. The injuries we've got are absolutely... I'm starting to think this club is cursed. Destiny Udogie was absolutely toothless yesterday. I've watched the extended highlights back again after watching the 90 minutes yesterday. And Destiny Udogie, whenever we come up against a tricky winger, he gets skinned his side. Benton Court offers absolutely nothing. He can't win 50-50s. He just fouls players when he comes up against a good player. He doesn't have the pace to run a midfield. You know, he doesn't win his duels. He doesn't not got good passing range. None of our midfielders, other than James Maddison, look comfortable on the ball. Brennan Johnson still starting every single, game when he's fit and available, and he offers nothing other than back post tap-ins. And you've got a manager when it comes down to tactical substitutions, he's absolutely tactically inept and a terrible manager. And if you call this out, you're negative or not a Spurs fan, or you should go and support another football club for wanting more at your football club. I mean, it's ridiculous. Make sure you go down and drop a like on the video. Make sure you have that subscribe button. Around 88% of you that watch the content every month are not subscribed. We just hit 47K and now we're pushing 48K. Last night, Tottenham's result on the scoreline, once again, it doesn't really look bad, does it? A 1-0 defeat away from home. We're playing a fifth in the Eredivisie, AZ Alkmaar, or AZ Alkmaar, however you pronounce it. We were absolutely toothless. We had our first shot on target in the 87th minute. And this is our attacking team. This is a team that has got spirit and character. 5 shots on target. Their winger had a big chance in a one-on-one. I think it was Poku. No one would really take any of the AZ Alkmaar's team, would they? Troy Parrott couldn't get a game for us. He was 5th choice under Dane Scarlett, Richarlison. He was 3rd, 4th choice when we had Harry Kane. He's 3rd, 4th choice when we had Dominic Solanke at the beginning of the season. We sold him to AZ Alkmaar. He's got 13 or 14 goals this season, and he was a threat against us. We come away, we got 1 shot on target in the 87th minute against a 5th place team in the Eredivisie. And we've got Bournemouth at the weekend, who apparently Ange Postecoglou did not want to play Romero or Van de Ven, but he would rather play them against Bournemouth when the game means absolutely nothing, because we're not playing for a top 4. We're not playing for a Europa League. We're not playing for a European position. We're going to be lucky to get in the top 10. And our next 3 league games are Bournemouth, Fulham away, and Chelsea away. And I'm going to say this right now. We will not win any of those games. It's absolutely insanity. Kulusevski's unavailable for the Bournemouth game. Dominic Solanke now apparently is unavailable for the Bournemouth game. Heung-min Son, not good enough for me anymore. I would sell him in the summer. If a decent bid comes in, I'm not addicted to, I'm not addicted to the, to what people say about he's our captain, etc. I don't subscribe to that. I look at, what is he doing to impact games? And I think it was StatMuse yesterday put up, for his football numbers, and it was absolutely pathetic. 0 goals, 0 shots on target, 0 assists, 0 chances created, 0 key passes, 0 tackles won, 0 possession won, 0 fouls won. It was just a cardio session for him. I'm sorry. There has to be a better manager out there that can get more out of these players. Son is not what he used to be, but he isn't that bad. We're playing him we're trying to play him as a touchline winger. His best attribute is running through on goal. And I just see something on Twitter while recording this. Someone sent me this. Available managers. You know, I would take. I would take Xavi. I would take Allegri. I would take Edin Terzic. I would take Allegri. One of these managers has got to be a much better manager than Ange Postecoglou. I'm sorry. It's absolutely, it's not good enough. You know, we're sitting here right now and it's, you know, it's a fucking disgrace. Let's just call it for what it is. We're suffering in the Premier League. You know, we are flipping 13th in the league. We're out of the League Cup. We're out of the FA Cup. The narrative was, let's give them the cups and let's see what happens. Well, when we're out of the Europa League potentially next week, what's the excuse going to be then? You know, if Everton, West Ham and Man United all win their games, I don't think for 1 minute that Man United will beat this Arsenal side. But we could be, if Man United get a thumping, if we get a thumping against Bournemouth, Everton and I think West Ham will beat Newcastle. Newcastle got huge injuries, and Everton haven't lost a game since David Moyes has come in. You know, we could be 15th or 16th, and we've got Fulham away who are above us. We've then got Chelsea who are above us. We haven't beaten any good team this season away from home other than Manchester City. You know, what makes you think we're going to go and do Chelsea or Fulham? The only good away performance we've had this season is Manchester City and Brentford. We are absolutely fucking toothless. 13th in the Premier League. 18 defeats this season. 18 defeats this season. Don't matter how you dress it up. Don't matter what you want to say. Don't matter how many excuses you want to bring out. That is categorically unacceptable. We are a laughingstock. I'm at the point now where sack them all. Strip Son as captain. Sack Ange Postecoglou. Sack Lange. Levy clearly at the moment or at any point has never really cared about this football club. It's all financial gain. And we are on the decline massively. Last year, we finished 5th in the Europa League. This year, we will be very, very lucky to get in the top 10. And the excuse is constantly, oh, he's got injuries, we don't have fit players, etc., etc., etc. Well, now we've got Romero and Van der Ven back. If we lose against Bournemouth, what is the excuse going to be? What is the excuse going to be if we lose to Bournemouth and we've got Romero and Van der Ven back? The same Bournemouth side, by the way, that are further than us in the FA Cup. The beat, you know, and they are in a bit of a, you know, they've had a couple of bad results recently. They lost to Wolves, they lost to Brighton, you know, but they will be on the high after playing the FA Cup game. They did beat Newcastle away quite heavily. They got a draw with Chelsea. We just waited 8 days to be served up that dross. I am not confident one bit about this manager. He's not good enough. The players need to take a long, hard look at themselves and just think, what is happening at this football club? You know, I'm sorry, you can't defend it. Man United have sacked their manager for being where we are. Everton have sacked their manager for being where we are. West Ham have sacked their manager. Why are we still persisting with a manager who has a 34% win rate in the Premier League? A manager this season that has won 10 of 27 games. You know, it's not good enough. It's simply not good enough. I'm sick and tired of this. Son, sell him, Ange go, Lange go, rip the whole thing up and start again. You know, we've got Bournemouth on Sunday. I think we could lose quite heavily. I think we could lose, you know, 2 or 3-0. We haven't scored in our last 2 games. We've only scored 3 goals. So we've only scored 5 goals in our last 4 games, but we're an attacking team. If you actually look at it, we've scored 7 goals in our last 6 games. And 3 of those games, we didn't score in. So look, I can't be bothered anymore. Just sack this guy, get into the summer, go and give Xavi the job. You know, actually back him with some good players and then see where we are. We need a new captain. I'd probably give it to Vicario at the moment or Van der Ven. Romero's checked out. He doesn't want to be here. So, look, it is what it is. The whole thing needs to be ripped up and start again. You know, it's an absolute disgrace of the highest order. Make sure you drop a like. Make sure you hit that subscribe button. and I will see you next time. Thank you for watching. I'm out.